right, I'd like to call to order the Littleton City Council meeting for, what is today's date? For November 16, 2021. Time is 6:30 or 18:30. Roll call, please. City Clerk.
I'm hiding over
there you
here.
Throwing my glasses on.
I was testing you. Mayor Valdez.
Present.
Mayor Pro Tem Malin.
Here.
Councilmember Milliman.
Here.
Councilmember Grove. Councilmember Fay. Councilmember Driscoll.
Here.
Councilmember Rudnicki.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Thank you very much. If I could have Troop 742 enter. All right, don't mess with us. All right. Thank you, Troop. Please join us in the Pledge of Allegiance, led by Troop 742. Yes. All right, thanks, guys. All right. Thank you very much for bringing it back. Council, you've had a chance to see the agenda. Any changes? Seeing none, agenda is approved. We'll move down to our reports. We'll start with the city manager.
No report, Mayor.
Thank you. City attorney.
No report, Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you. We will go to council. We'll start with Councilmember Milliman.
No report, but I'm just very thankful everybody's here tonight to share in this celebration, and I hope everybody has a really safe and happy Thanksgiving holiday.
Great. Councilmember Rudnicki.
Well, I had a meeting with the Arts and Culture Commission. They had a joint meeting with the Art Committee last Thursday. They had a discussion about mural programs in various communities, including Loveland, Arvada, Fort Collins, Colorado Springs, and Golden, and showed a lot of pictures, some very interesting murals on city-type buildings as well as private buildings. They're discussing the possibilities for Littleton. Sometime in the future, they'll be doing a survey of potential sites to do some mural work and get ready, eventually approaching council for additional funding and direction. So it was a good meeting. I've learned a lot in my 6 months going to their meetings. The fact that arts and culture, I call it the whipped cream and the cherry on top of any city. And without arts and culture, the community would just be more of a group of houses stuck on the open plains here. So anyway, learned a lot, and hopefully future councils will get together with them and bring Littleton into a little more of the arts and culture.
Great, thank you. Councilmember Grove.
No report.
Councilmember Driscoll.
No report.
Mayor Pro Tem.
No report, Mayor. Thank you.
All right, thank you. And Councilmember Fay did ask me to share that she did want to be here tonight. This is the first regular meeting that she has missed in 4 years, and she did definitely want to be here. She did want to share that she does have some surgery coming up on her hip, and right now she's in severe pain, and walking and let alone sitting here is very difficult for when you have a hip like that. So we wish her a speedy recovery. Okay. Council, I did attend the Veterans Day event over at Kittring, and was able to had the honor of giving the keynote speech. And it was a wonderful event. I tell you what, it's so wonderful for all the folks that have served. And Council, we're winding up, and I appreciate all the council members. everything you have done this year. Mayor Pro Tem, I know you're leaving us, so thank you very much. And Carol Fay, she was a good council member as well. And Mr. Rudnicki, thank you for showing up when needed. Council Member Elrod is not here, but thank you to her as well. I just want to go over a few of the accomplishments that we did have this past 2 years. It was a very challenging year in different ways. All councils have been productive in it, and it's led by the city manager and their staff. But some of the accomplishments I just want to point out is we did adopt the comprehensive plan, and it was the first time that was updated in 1989, and that was done with some of the members up here on this council. Mark, I believe, or Councilmember Rudnicki, I believe you were on the Planning Commission at that time. So we were able to get the comprehensive plan accomplished. Over the past 3 years, staff and council has communicated with over 8,300 people in person. We have had over 70,000 electronic communications. We have had over 45,000 social media communications. We've had 261 events from 2018 to 2019. That's a lot of events for the city manager that you all put together, so thank you very much for doing that. That helped us to get the comprehensive plan, something, again, that hasn't been done since 1989. The Transportation Master Plan has been adopted by this council. It'll be the guiding light for improvement on the roadways going into the future. Phase 1 and Phase 2 amendments to the city former Title 10 relative to the downtown development. Both are key steps in leading the Unified Land Use Code. The Land Use Code, we adopted that. This council did that. Again, a huge thing, especially when you wait 40 years to do it. It becomes even tougher, but we are able to do it. Thank you, staff, for everything you did there. And this council made it happen. And before I get too far into a list of our accomplishments, staff does amazing things for us. They come to council. None of it is possible if councils don't support staff. And that's exactly what this council has done. It has supported staff. We made the funding available where possible. So staff has done a great job, but it starts with council approving budgets and authorizing certain things. We updated some codes, increasing other codes that are not the UCLA. Didn't Colorado just lose to them? Yeah, that was terrible. Anyway, many codes. Let's see, priority-based budgeting was fully implemented just in time for a COVID-19 shutdown. Fortunately, the city manager and staff have been working on that for the last 4 or 5 years. And I think we finally got to it where it was fully implemented just in time, and it was paramount that we used it at this time, and it came in. It was a very useful tool for us to use. Let's see, we had the South Metro Fire Unification that was effective January 2020, I believe, with the transfer of employees and equipment and facilities. That was a big effort by staff to make that happen. Soon after this council started, of course, the COVID-19 pandemic hit. And for some of you who weren't on council, you got to start with our Zoom meetings almost from the get-go. We had December, then we had to deal with that. And a thank you to the staff and the city manager, again, for finding a way that we can make it happen. With CARES Act funding, council chamber was remodeled. This is an incredible chamber that we have here, folks. And for those of you that remember the old one, we've come a long way, baby. It's now modernized. If we do have another pandemic, which hopefully we'll never see another one again, but should we're now set up where we can handle a pandemic. The old council chamber was not conducive at all to conducting any businesses. Also, with the CARES Act funding, about $1 million of the funding was distributed to 111 businesses and 20 nonprofits. And council, we were involved with that. Good job, council. 2019 to 2021, the council began formalizing an asset management plan, including a system utilizing GIS to map assets, and the city manager hired, for the first time ever, an asset manager. Let's see. I'm going to try to skip a few of these. We had the safety improvements on Federal Boulevard intersection was completed in 2021, and that was done with the funds that were approved in 2017 from is approved by the citizens of Littleton with Tabor funds, so we were able to get that accomplished. The city took the lead in guiding 8 jurisdictions to partner in a planning and environmental linkage study with CDOT, Colorado Department of Transportation, that will plan the future of transportation on the city, or on the Santa Fe corridor. The entire downtown, comprised of 2,500 properties, was zoned with 7 districts, from 7 districts to 1, with 4 characteristic areas. Again, council, we spent a lot of hours on that, a lot of conversation. We weren't all in agreement, but it happened. The downtown historic district was approved, something that many have been looking for decades, and it finally happened. Housing study, the recommendation was adopted and updated. The Housing Task Force was formed in 2020 and partnered with South Metro Housing Options to move the housing goals outlined in our comprehensive plan and also our council goals. Let's see, council completed and adopted the Tri-Cities Homeless Action Plan. The city completed an inventory in 2020 and 2021, identifying more than 127 current activities and over 30 existing goals the city has for environmental policies and practices. The majority of the programs fall into the categories of waste reduction and recycling. Let's see, over 50 non-ULUC codes were adopted and completed from 2018 to 2021, including full revision of the city criminal codes. The city's pandemic response plan was implemented to keep employees and citizens safe. This included the opportunity for remote work, remote hybrid council meetings, and more. Let's see. We held our first State of the City meeting in 2021 with more than 120 businesses and civic leaders. The council boards and commission applications increased. In 2020 and 2021, the authorities, boards, and commissions brought 59 applications, the largest number received in the past 15 years. That's a 20% increase from previous record, which was back in 2015. I want to thank Councilmember Elrod, Mark Rudnicki, and Carol Fay and Scott Malin for stepping up to the plate and being on council. Thank you very much, Mark, for doing it the last 5 months. I also want to thank the citizens that call us, email us, and we meet with often. I know myself, I had over 600 phone calls that I addressed, and I talked to everyone that called me. I would call them. But even more importantly, I want to thank the citizens that show up here almost every meeting. You know, I want to thank some citizens like Carol Breezak, Frank Atwood, Paul Bingham, Pam Chadbourne, who lives a block and a half from here, for demonstrating what civility is about. Those folks, they don't always agree with council, and it's likely they don't. But the one thing that they do is they demonstrate what it is to be polite when you disagree with somebody, and that's something that our society's missing these days. It's changed a lot. So thank you to the citizens. You have made all of us council members far better, so thank you very much. Council, that is it for my report.
Mayor, is this the time to ask for a raise?
Nope. You missed that. Maybe with this incoming council, possibly. Okay. Citizens' appearance. We do have some guests tonight. We have Cub Scout Pack 742. Are you going to come forward and tell us something? Would you like to? You have a question? Yeah, come on up here, please, if you will.
Well, oh, they're all putting on. First, thank you for having us. We appreciated being here tonight. We asked some of the scouts to have tough questions prepared for the council. We'll just maybe ask one or two if that's okay. You had a really good question. Go ahead and say your name.
I'm William Christensen, and I'm wondering, how do you deal with residents' like problems with the city when they ask you? How do you deal with those?
It's important to listen to them. If they have a complaint, it's important that we hear it. It may be something we're totally unaware of, or maybe we are aware of it, but it's good to hear them out, and then we can either respond to them at that time or get back to them at another time once we get more information. Council? Anyone? No? All right.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hi, my name is Leo Shaw, and I just wanted to know if it was a stressful job running Littleton.
Considering like I said, I've had over 500 or 600 phone calls. My blood pressure is high because I drink a lot of coffee these days in the morning meeting with people. But no, it has its moments. We do have to make some tough decisions at time. A lot of our decisions are routine or kind of easy, but there are many decisions as a council we do have to make, and we don't always agree. But this council in particular, I think, has gotten along rather well. And while it can be stressful, it's worth it because we know what we're doing for the city.
Thank you.
You bet, Leo.
My name is Finn Todd, and why did you choose to become mayor of Littleton?
It was something, I've been on council for a while, so it was something that before, we just had our first citizen-elect mayor with Kyle Selector, who will be being sworn in here in a few minutes. The way I was picked was by city council. It was just something that, from my peers, that we agreed that I would be the one, and as the same for Mayor Pro Tem. He was selected to be Mayor Pro Tem.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
Hi, my name's Andrew Ward, and I was just wondering which one of you was like going to be replaced with another like judge or mayor.
Scott, why don't you take that one?
Thank
Several
you.
of them.
Thank
Okay, yeah.
Not all by choice.
There's actually going to be a swearing in. If you stay around, Judge Feldman, the Littleton Judge Feldman, is going to swear in the new members into the council, including the new mayor.
Well, thanks again for having us tonight. You've got some future electorates there. It'll be between 7 and 8 years before they're voting. But just a question for the council. What would you advise these 10-year-olds around, getting involved in civic duty and participating in their community?
You know, first, you got to learn to read. Read, understand what you're reading, show up. If there's somewhere you're supposed to be, show up on time. And just be involved, no matter what it is. If you're on a soccer team, football, lacrosse, be involved. Just don't be the person who shows up for the game or practice. See what you can do to help the team be better. You know, can you do something? No matter what organization you're with, just don't be someone who participates. Be someone who makes a difference.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. All right, thank you. Okay, thank you. We do have public comments tonight. I don't have a sign-up list. Public comments, I don't have the script in front of me, but I know it's for 3 minutes. We expect comments to be civil. I know, I didn't bring my stuff either. Thank you very much. All right, we have a few people. First, we have Dan Radulovich, then Catherine Roy, then Pam Chadbourne, and Paul Bingham. We'll start with Dan.
Good evening, Council. As you all know, I serve on the Transportation Mobility Advisory Board for the city. This, like all other boards, is a volunteer position that I, and I would assume other citizens who serve on boards, take very seriously. Last week, I watched the removal of a member from a board, and I would like to speak to the how of this process and not really the why. I understand that I serve at the pleasure of the council, as the saying goes, and I can be removed for really any reason. This being said, it seems a bit strange to me that the removal of a board member can be done via simple consent agenda item. Had this not been pulled last week, there would have been no discussion on the topic. As a person who volunteers their time for the city, I would like to see some kind of hearing process for this action. where the board member has a chance to explain their side in more, longer than 3 minutes in a public comment session. I understand that there were efforts to contact this board member to no avail. Even with this, I would ask for a bit more robustness of process and possibly a review of what this process is to remove a person from a board. Now, to completely turn to a different direction, I would like to thank all of the current outgoing members for their service on council. It's probably something that's not said enough. From the outside, this appears to be largely a thankless job that can consume a good portion of your life if you allow it to. So I would like to extend my gratitude for your service and to our community, and likely more importantly, I would like to thank your significant others and families for allowing you to spend a good portion of your time serving the city. For those of you coming aboard tonight, I would hope that you understand what you have got yourself into. One of you, I think, does, because you've been here, but you've been on council before. You have chosen to take on a truckload of extra stress in your life, all to be told by half or sometimes more of the population that you're dead wrong. The best I can humbly offer is to try and make decisions that make common sense, serve the good of the most people possible, and are based on some kind of fact or data, if that's possible at the time. Thank you for your time and your service. Have a good night.
Thanks, Dan.
Thank you. Next up, Catherine Roy, then Pam, then Paul.
Good evening, council members, and I'd like to echo that thanks for the great service each of you provide to our community. I'm Catherine Roy, and I am the Executive Director at Love in the Name of Christ, and I'm here on behalf of the Transportation Solutions for Arapahoe County. As a part of what Love Inc. does, we provide rides to people in need, many seniors, but really it's not just that. Door-to-door service, all done by volunteer drivers. As a part of that, we've also been a part of Dr. Mack and now the Transportation Solutions Arapahoe County. Many of you know it's been around since 2012, but just recently has received its 501c3 designation, which will give them more opportunity to do work. And they've asked us, as a part of them, to just make sure that the different municipalities within Arapahoe County know what's happening and what they provide as a service, and in turn, Love Inc. provides as a service too. The Transportation Solutions Arapahoe County is a community-based group that works collaboratively to identify and find solutions for the transportation needs within Arapahoe County. And there are serious transportation problems for people who are seniors, disabled, and lower income residents, because RTD is not the only solution. It's expensive and it doesn't go to all the places where people need to go. And a lot of the seniors especially don't feel safe on the bus or comfortable. So Transportation Solutions Arapahoe County is working to help find other options for them and follow RTD at public hearings. They're taking place in resource fairs and will hold events of their own. So they've been working on a 5-year strategic plan and are, though it's been on hold for a while, it's revisited, and just want you to know that they would like to come and give updates occasionally. I'd like to provide a resource that can be shared as well, just their flyer, and I have contact information for the person if there are questions or comments about that service. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Next up, Pam Chadbourne, Paul Bingham.
Good evening, Council. My name is Pam Chadbourne, and I do live a block and a half from here. I kind of want to pick up maybe where Dan Radulovich left off. Making decisions on the basis of data when it's possible, it's always possible. And that hasn't been done in the past 2 years. So while I am thankful for your time and your communication with citizens, the comprehensive plan is neither comprehensive or a plan. And the Unified Land Use Code is one-dimensional. It gives a legacy that has been protected by councils and planning commissions before you for decades to the market to develop. And this is a horrible market. It's residential focused. It is a time of great demand, so materials and labor cost way too much. So we're not going to get the highest and best building during this kind of time. Yet the ULUC pretty much says, let's remove the protections that we've had. Let's place no new protections. Let's not require affordable housing. We don't need to require any kind of building codes to protect for climate change, even though multifamily will be almost impossible to adapt in the future for the energy efficiency that we need to respond and stop climate change. The ULUC was a prime opportunity and it missed it. And that's because, as you mentioned, Mayor, city staff did not bring data and council did not demand that data. Council staff provided one alternative almost every meeting I've been at. Here's what we staff think. And council, you talk about this and you can adjust it around the edges. And then that's what we're going to pass. And that's what we've gotten, and that is a failure. Because cities are functional, and there are ways to estimate function, and that's what should have been the basis of the comprehensive plan. We're not the first, we're not the 12th, we're not the 100th, we're not the 500th city to be in an expanding metropolitan area. There is data about how to do this, and we have heard none of it. And so our unified land use code is this simple thing that doesn't provide protections for the legacy that's been preserved for decades. So I'm going to call on the new council, and that's the remaining members and the new folks, to fix this. Make no decision without real data. We need functional estimating models of the city to understand what the impacts of your decisions are. And then we all can deliberate and talk about it and decide. Thanks very much.
Great. Thank you. Paul Bingham. And then if anybody else would like to address council that has not signed up, you'll have an opportunity as well.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor and council. I just want to tell you all thank you. You folks have come together as a group, as a council, and done a really good job. Worked together, pulled together two big things, the comm plan and the ULUC, plus a whole bunch of other things. I just want to tell you thank you. You've done a fine job. Tonight you become a new group when these people, three people over here, change places and whatnot with you. It's not going to be the same group. You're a new group, and I wish the new group much luck. And we'll probably be down here talking to you also. So anyway, thank you all very much.
Thank you.
Thanks, Paul.
Okay. Do we have anybody else who would like to speak? All right, come on up.
Waiting for the literature to get passed.
Oh, thank you, Patrick.
Good evening, City Council. My name's Frank Atwood, and the literature that I passed to you discusses approval voting, and I wanted you to have it in front of you so that as I read it, if you want to read along, you're welcome to, if necessary, as Mayor Valdez pointed out the importance of reading. Approval voting moves us beyond two-party thinking. Vote for everyone you approve of. The candidate with the most votes wins. That briefly sums up approval voting and complete. The details are, incumbents and party faithfuls are right to be suspicious and wary of any change to the current voting methods. However, polling data since October 2003 shows upwardly trending popular discontent with just two parties. Gallup poll of February 15th, 2021 tells us disgruntled Democrats, yes, 46%, and Republicans, 63%, and even more importantly, 70% of independents say a third party is needed. Approval voting reflects a candidate's true level of support. Approval voting moves us beyond two-party thinking and away from a voting method that perpetuates two-party dominance. Again, I'd like to repeat that approval voting moves us beyond two-party thinking. To implement it, you'll simply let voters vote for everyone you approve of, and that the candidate with the most votes wins. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else would like to speak? Seeing none, I close the public comment. It is 7 p.m. Great, thank you. We'll move on. Item number 7 on our agenda, the consent agenda items. Consent agenda items must be read, and they may be pulled by any council member. Item number 7A, ordinance 30-2021, an ordinance on first reading amending Title 3, Chapter 9 of the City Code relating to retail sales and use tax. 7B, ID number 21-246, motion to approve minutes of the November 9, 2021 special meeting.
Mayor, I move to approve consent agenda items A and B.
Second.
We have a motion and a second by Councilmember Milliman. Council, a for vote is to approve, or against is to deny. Are you ready? Somebody's not voted. That's me. I'm holding out. All right. Okay, thank you.
The vote is 6 in favor. The motion carries unanimously.
Okay, we have no general business. We have no items on second reading. City Manager.
So good evening, council. Good evening, public. So at this point in the agenda is kind of presentation of awards here to the outgoing council members. And got some staff here to help me with the process. You know, I think it's also a time, certainly a celebration and reflection. Mayor, I think you did a wonderful job listening all the accomplishments over the last couple of years. Quite honestly, I think I was a little exhausted, kind of thinking about some of that stuff. But, you know, we should be very, very proud of what we've accomplished here in the last couple of years. You know, I've been in this business, local government, for over 35 years. And every once in a while, I've been in a community here where a council and the staff come together and great things happen. Truly, this is an example. And I think it's probably one of the highlights of my entire career is what this council was able to accomplish. So congratulations to all of you. So Mayor Pro Tem, I got a couple of comments here to share about you. That's good. That's good. You know, I think it's unique to have a council member who obviously was born and raised here in this community and is raising a family here as well. And certainly with your education and background, you've got a very unique perspective that you've brought here to this council and to this community. You graduated from the Littleton Police Citizens Academy, the Littleton Leadership Academy, and you served as a council liaison here to the Colorado Municipal League Policy Committee, the Littleton Public Schools, the South Platte Working Group, and the Colorado Department of Transportation and their ad hoc committees. I think that your service here, I think it's just been an amazing example here to all of us. And your engagement is another example, certainly to me and to all your colleagues and certainly to the community here. Perhaps the most notable for me personally was your work on ballot issue 3A. I can remember coming before this council in February at a study session talking about our financial dilemma and recommending that we take a measure next year and not this year. And I remember Councilmember Driscoll at the time was saying, no, let's do it now. And Mayor Pro Tem, you certainly joined in on that chorus, and eventually all of you directed me, obviously staff here, to pursue that for this year. After I picked myself up off the floor that evening, I was able here to work with staff, to work with council, and to find a consultant to kind of help us with the political effort here. And I cannot be more proud. Give me a minute here.
This is why I didn't do the speech, Mark.
Scott, I can remember some conversations you and I had. They were at times tough, and I think that they were always frank and open. It was all about the strategy and trying to figure out how do we approach our community and telling our story. And I will always remember that. Can't believe I'm getting emotional about this, but forgive me. And I think the outcome of that, at being almost 60% in favor, is a statement from our community to this council, to this organization, about the support and confidence they have in us to execute what they want in the improvements to this community. It is monumental for that ballot measure 3A to pass by 60%. So every single one of you need to be congratulated, but you in particular, Scott, the conversations I remember at times were difficult, but I think it shaped the outcome and the success of that ballot issue. I think, Scott, too, I know that you love the opportunity to speak to the public, and especially the elementary schools. I remember you sharing that constantly here with a lot of us about those opportunities. And I know that as a young father and a family, you made a heck of a dedication here to this community, to this council. Your time away from your family was hard, and I know that weighed into your decision here about re-election. I do know that your wife, Marcy, obviously supported you at great lengths, as well as your mother, your father, your parents, and being able to take care of your kids on council nights, and so that you could come here and be completely engaged and know that your family was being taken care of. I deeply appreciate, Scott, your praise of the staff. You've done that publicly, privately. Again, a lot of it is your style and being able to interact with us as staff and trying to craft the best approach here for our community and our success. And so I think that's clearly one of your strengths and one of the highlights. I know that now that you'll be coming off the council, that you're going to spend more of your time around your passion of producing your own food through gardening, foraging, and fishing, which I can truly appreciate. And while it was maybe a short tenure of 2 years, you have a lot to be proud of. And so on behalf of the Littleton City Council and staff, just thank you, Scott, for your service. I think so. So we have some gifts here, Scott. We have some flowers, and they're meant for your wife, clearly. And it's a token of appreciation, certainly from the council and the staff here, of her commitment to you and allowing you the time to be present with this. I have a plaque here and a gift card, $100 to Angelo's. We have a gift basket, and of course we have your portrait, which I believe this is it. So I'm in the COVID era here, I think, Scott, I'm going to ask you just to stay seated here. I'm going to bring this to you here, but thank you for your service on City Council, Scott Malin, 2019 to 2021. hopefully I got the emotion out of the way here now. Move on to the next. Okay. Yeah, Mark Rudnicki. You came into a very unique role, roughly 6 months being on city council, filling in for Karina Elrod, who obviously left our community for Italy to live with her family, while her husband filled his service in the Air Force, I believe. I think your background is quite unique, and I deeply appreciate the fact that you even had interest in doing this for the short period of time. But for you to be, a 40-year resident in this community, 19 years serving on the Planning Commission, deeply involved in a lot of the list that the mayor just kind of rattled off here, certainly the comprehensive plan, the ULUC, all these code amendments you were deeply involved in. And now that you've been, of course, the council had you fill in the 6 months here. And I know that you had a couple of accomplishments that you've shared, certainly with me, with staff and your colleagues, that you're probably most proud of. I think the creation of the historic district here for downtown. I think you said it's protecting the jewel of our community. I think that's well said. That obviously is a very significant accomplishment, and you certainly were part of that. The ULUC itself, your background as an architect, you certainly have appreciated our code for well over 19 years, and you had more insight on that than probably most people ever would. And I think that you were able to bring to this conversation through that particular issue, insight that I know your colleagues leaned on. And so I think that we deeply appreciate your commitment to the City Council and to this effort here for specifically those two large issues. I know that your wife, Alicia, she certainly did the same commitment here. I know that she probably felt isolated when you had to spend your weekend studying up here and getting ready for the council meetings. I think you had the, what's the saying, a council member's widow? Yes. And so I'm sure the rest of you can attest that, your spouse takes a, kind of a back seat at times, but the level of support that's necessary from a spouse to be, committed to this level of effort here is pretty deep. And I know that you appreciate the fact that now that you'll be coming off the council, that you can be spending some more time with your family. And I think just a job well done, Mark. And I deeply appreciate it personally for your commitment to this community. And again, I think on behalf of the council and the staff, we thank you, Mark, for your commitment here, for service here on the Littleton City Council. So same thing, Mark, we have a plaque for you, gift card, your portrait, and a gift basket. Unfortunately, Carol Fay could not be here. I do want to say just a couple of things. She is having, of course, surgery here. I do know that she is in a lot of pain, as the mayor kind of pointed out. I know that she's been deeply involved in this community, had sincere interest in a lot of issues. And I'd say personally, I know that the homeless issue, the Tri-City Homeless Coalition, was certainly one of her passions. The Highline Canal Working Group, the Arapahoe County Community Services Block Grant Committee, and certainly she'd been a key part of the city manager, city attorney, and judge review committee. So I think on behalf of the city council and the staff, we want to thank Carol Fay for her service to our community as well. And Mayor, just one quick comment about you. I know that you're not leaving. You'll be stepping aside here, join the rest of council, but the last 2 years was pretty interesting. And I want to just tell you my appreciation for your leadership of this council, and certainly the working relationship that we had through some pretty tough times. And, most of this community will never know about what it took to get past COVID in this organization. And your leadership certainly helped staff and helped me and the rest of us make some great decisions. So I want to thank you for that.
No tears? No tears?
No, but
Thank you, thank you. Oh.
We do have a gift card for you.
Oh, nice, thank you. I appreciate it. All right.
Okay, we have gift baskets here. I'm going to put these back over here. We'll get those to you. And that's it for my end. Thank you.
Great, thank you very much. I want to call out that we have probably the best city manager in the state. Thank you very much. I didn't shed a tear either, Mark. Okay. Council, this is about the end of my duties. I want to tell you how honored I was to be the mayor over the last 2 years. I think this has been an excellent council. We got so much accomplished. And I include Councilmember Elrod in on that as well. So thank you, council, for trusting me to be the mayor over the last 2 years. With that, I'd like to make a motion. I would like to make a motion, let's see, where is it? I'd like to make a motion to appoint the city clerk as temporary chairperson for the meeting. I need a second.
Second.
We have a motion and a second by Councilmember Millman. Then we're going to do a vote. Okay, of course, 4 is in favor of it, and against is not. Okay, has everybody voted? Except for me. There we go.
The vote is 6 in favor. The motion carries unanimously. Thank you.
Good job, you guys. Good job.
We're going to just take a quick break and set up for the swearing-in ceremony.
All right. All right,
Or as Mayor-elect has called it, Coronation Day. Good evening. Thank you for rejoining us. I will call this meeting to order at 7:28 p.m. We are going to change things up a little bit. Our charter does state that council will be seated at 8 p.m. So between now and then, we're going to do oaths of office for individual members, and then there will be an opportunity for that council member and their families to do pictures in any setting they may like. Once we have everyone sworn in, we will take another brief break and come back just before 8 p.m. to seat new council at the dais. And then we will be taking nominations and motions for Mayor Pro Tem. So at this time, I would like to ask Judge Ethan Feldman to come up to the podium, please, and Mayor-elect Schlachter.
Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, and state your name,
I, Kyle Schlachter,
do solemnly affirm
do solemnly affirm
that I will support the Constitution of the United States of America,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States of America,
the Constitution of the State of Colorado,
the Constitution of the State of Colorado,
and the Charter and the ordinances
and the Charter and the ordinances
of the City of Littleton,
of the City of Littleton,
and will faithfully perform the duties
and will faithfully perform the duties
of Mayor of Littleton,
of Mayor of Littleton,
upon which I am about to enter.
upon which I am about to enter.
Congratulations.
He just said, "Kush time, everything's done." Congratulations. Thank you.
Are you sure? Yes.
Come on.
Ben, you're all messed up.
Should I pick her up?
I would like to point, yes, I think with the judge, but I would like to point out that Mayor Schlachter is following in his young son's footsteps, as Ben was recently elected to school council. Councilmember-elect Ryden.
Please raise your right hand
Okay.
and repeat after me. I, and state your name,
I, Gretchen Ryden,
do solemnly affirm
do solemnly affirm
that I will support the Constitution of the United States of America,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States of America,
the Constitution of the State of Colorado,
the Constitution of the State of Colorado,
and the Charter and the ordinances
and the Charter and the ordinances
of the City of Littleton,
of the City of Littleton,
and will faithfully perform the duties
and will faithfully perform the duties
of council member at large upon which I am about to enter.
of council member at large upon which I am about to enter.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I don't have any kids, so Scott, can I borrow yours? But I would take a picture with my brother and sister-in-law. Yes.
Councilmember Driscoll. You're reelected. New term.
Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, and state your name,
I, Patrick Driscoll,
do solemnly affirm
do solemnly affirm
that I will support the Constitution of the United States of America,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States of America,
the Constitution of the State of Colorado,
the Constitution of the State of Colorado,
and the Charter and the ordinances
and the Charter and the ordinances
of the City of Littleton, and faithfully perform the duties of Council Member District 1, upon which I'm about to enter. Congratulations.
Okay, thanks, Judge.
Thanks, Pat. Council member.
Councilmember-elect Barr.
Please raise your right hand. Repeat after me. I, and state your name,
I, Stephen Barr,
do solemnly affirm
do solemnly affirm
that I will support the Constitution of the United States of America,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States of America,
the Constitution of the State of Colorado,
the Constitution of the State of Colorado,
and the Charter and the ordinances
and the Charter and the ordinances
of the City of Littleton,
of the City of Littleton,
and will faithfully perform the duties
and will faithfully perform the duties
of Council Member District 3,
of Council Member District 3,
upon which I am about to enter.
upon which I am about to enter.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Steve, did you have any pictures you wanted to do?
Sure. You guys.
Come on.
All family. Sorry. One, two, three. A few here.
And then Stephen. With that, we will be taking another break. We will reconvene at 7:59 so we can seat council at 8 p.m. per our charter. And at that time, I will relinquish the meeting to Mayor Schlachter, and we will entertain nominations and election for Mayor Pro Tem. So please be back here by 7:59. Thank you. 7:59, and we'll start with a roll call of the newly seated council. Mayor Schlachter.
Here.
Councilmember Milliman.
Here.
Councilmember Grove.
Here.
Councilmember Barr.
Here.
Councilmember Valdez.
Present.
That sounds weird. Just saying. Councilmember. Councilmember Driscoll.
Here.
Councilmember Ryden.
Here.
We have a quorum, and at 7:59, I will relinquish the meeting to Mayor Schlachter, who at 8 p.m., we can work on nominating your Mayor Pro Tem.
Thank you so much. There is a lot of new stuff up here since the last time I was up here, so it takes some getting used to.
The room doesn't even see the same.
No, the room seems very different, yeah. But so in just a minute, I will invite nominations for appointment for Mayor Pro Tem. When all the nominations are received, I will invite questions from council members for the nominees. After each nominee has had an opportunity to respond to questions, I will request a motion and then a second on the motion in the order that the nominations were made. If the first nominee receives a majority vote, no further action will be taken, and that nominee will be appointed Mayor Pro Tem. If a majority vote is not received in the first nominee, the process will continue until a nominee receives a majority vote. And I would like to open the floor for nominations.
Mayor, I'd like to nominate Gretchen Ryden for Mayor Pro Tem.
Any other nominations?
Mayor, I'd like to nominate Pam Grove for Mayor Pro Tem.
Any other nominations? All right, seeing none, I will close the nominations. And do any council members have any questions of the nominees?
Mayor.
Yes.
Yeah, I'd like to hear from each member that has been nominated to hear their thoughts.
Okay. Thank you. I want to call you Mayor Valdez, but that's not right. Jerry, thank you. Well, council members, I think for Mayor Pro Tem, I think being a good listener is really important. As a therapist, that's something I have some experience with, and I think we need that kind of skill set with not only each other, but with our staff as well as with our citizens. I've also got experience as a group facilitator. That's my day job. I'm a group therapist, so that means I have a strong understanding of how to build consensus, how to relate as a group, how to confront things and deal with conflict, how to keep order, how to address gridlock, and very transparent. That's been evident throughout my election, something I want to continue to be, both with my fellow council members as well as the community at large. And then in my former life, I was a project manager. I actually certified as a PMP, so I'm highly organized. I can put together an agenda like a pro. I have some strong administrative skills, which I think will also be really necessary as Mayor Pro Tem. And finally, I'm able to handle conflict with professionalism and ease. Again, as part of that group facilitator experience, I'm not afraid of it. I can turn conflict into growth for our city council. So, thank you.
I'm interested in the job of Mayor Pro Tem, and I'd like to tell you a little bit about my credentials and why I want this position. I've lived in Littleton for 34 years. I've owned a home that whole time. My kids went to Littleton Public Schools. I've been very involved in the community. I've had volunteer positions and leadership roles in the schools where I've mobilized other parents for school events. I have gone on field trips. I was elected vice president of the Cheer Booster Club and even created and manned a booth at After Prom. I've also been involved in the Highline Canal Conservancy, where I was a volunteer for a couple years before I was on council. And I was very involved in my local professional organization, the American Marketing Association, also went up to the national level and have been an officer. I was appointed by council to serve on the Historical Preservation Board, where I served for 9 years, and I was only left to come onto council. I was the chair for 3 years, and through that process, I became very familiar with the processes, the staff, the citizens of Littleton, business owners, property owners. I understand how the city works, especially how the city of Littleton works. I view things from a very strategic perspective, but have also been able to get down in the weeds. I read all 543 pages of the ULUC and had a lot of questions and suggestions and comments, as everybody well knows. Why would I like to be Mayor Pro Tem? Well, a couple reasons. I have the energy, I have the time to help move our council goals forward, because that's what we all want as council members. I'm good at communicating, I'm good at collaborating with my fellow council members, with staff, and with the citizens. I respond to texts, email, phone calls very promptly. I always get back to everyone. I actively listen to the citizens and what situations they bring to me and do what I can to help them, working with staff, working with the citizens, working with other partners in our community. I can also leverage my business skills for this. I had a career as a college instructor, as a consultant, as a corporate trainer, and as a product marketing manager. And everything that entails, from reading budgets to moving teams forward to planning events to public speaking. I don't have a specific cause or agenda for the next 2 years. I am very aligned with the mayor and what he sees for our goals. There's many things that we need to work on. A couple things are getting our infrastructure in order, our capital fund in order, spending ARPA funds due diligently, working on the water main that's going to impact downtown Littleton, beefing up the grant program for the Historical Preservation Board. The ULUC, still, as we've talked about, it's a living document. We still need to work on that. Affordable housing is a big issue in all parts of the mobile, as Mark always talks about it. I come from a different generation than the mayor, and I think my frame of reference will provide some diversity and some good perspective. Having served on council for the last 2 years, I've gone through the deep learning curve to be a council member, and I could hit the ground running. I believe that the council and the community would benefit from the continuity I would bring to this position. I hope my fellow council members see my experience and skills that I have will help have what it takes to be the Mayor Pro Tem. Thank you.
Are there any other questions? Seeing none, then I will entertain a motion for the first nominee.
Mayor, I would like to move to nominate, to appoint Gretchen Ryden as Mayor Pro Tem.
I would like to second.
Red light's on. Okay, there we go. So I have a motion and a second. City Clerk, we'll do a roll call vote.
Thank you, Mayor. This will be a voice roll call vote, so please make sure your microphones are on so we can hear you. Councilmember Milliman?
Yes. Yes.
Councilmember Grove?
No.
Councilmember Barr?
Yes.
Mayor Schlachter?
Yes.
Councilmember Valdez?
No.
Councilmember Driscoll?
No.
Councilmember Ryden?
Of course.
The vote is 4-3. The motion to appoint Gretchen Ryden Mayor Pro Tem carries. Congratulations.
Well, we have nothing else in the agenda, but I would just like to make a quick statement and just, first of all, thank my family, my wife, Lisa, and my kids, Ben and Beatrice, for supporting me and letting me do this one more time. And so thank you guys for all your support these last couple months. I would like to thank the outgoing council members, former Mayor Pro Tem Scott Malin, Councilmember Carol Fay, Mark Rudnicki, and Karina Elrod as well. She was on for the last 3.5 years there. I want to thank them for all the effort and support they put in for the community these last few years. And I just want to say I'm looking forward to working with this new council, seeing some familiar faces up here and some new people, and I think it's going to be a great couple years here. So thank you so much. And with that, we're adjourned.